In this video, I'm going to explain the real reason why you have low energy, the real reason why you have brain fog, and what the other coaches in the industry are not telling you. But instead, they're capitalizing on your symptoms, creating more problems by giving you cookie cutter solutions. And without further ado, let's jump straight into the video and discover what's the real reason you have brain fog and low energy, okay? Things you can actually implement in your life to understand what's keeping you from performing at the level you truly could be right now. Why should you even listen to what I have to say, by the way, before we get into this? Because I've been helping people, big names in the industry like Jordan Platten, Nathan Nazareth, Marcus Pizarro, Corey Albert, Hida, Roy, Jonas, Matthias, a lot of people that most of them you know that are big in the online business space, and I'm helping them do exactly that. Okay, discover the real reason they're tired and they have brain fog and fix it with a personalized data-driven system. I don't want to get a lot into that. This video is not about that, but more so to understand what's causing the symptoms, okay? So the symptoms of you watching this video right now probably is you're waking up feeling tired, lack of focus, you're crashing midday, you feel overwhelmed, you have poor sleep, and you also have low motivation, low drive, okay? Those are the symptoms that like the market is capitalizing on by giving you cookie cutter solutions and by creating even bigger problems, okay? What do I even mean? The mistake entrepreneurs make when they first try to improve their performance, their energy, their focus, get rid of brain fog, get rid of low energy, is that they research stuff online, okay? They go online, go to YouTube, with all the cookie cutter information out there nowadays, the trendy biohacks, the performance protocols, the morning routines. You go online, you research stuff, and you try to implement the new stuff, those new ideas, those groundbreaking protocols into your life, okay? And you end up usually spending your time doing unnecessary stuff and without knowing how they affect your body or if that's what your body even needs. What's the result of that? Well, you create a loop. You enter that negative loop of constantly trying new things, constantly implementing in your life without knowing if that's what your body needs, and not seeing results. That causes you to waste time out of your business. That causes you to waste money because either you're buying some biohacking gadgets or because if you're wasting time from actual work that can make you money to try and geek out on health and like, what's the best thing I can do for my health and my performance and my energy, you're wasting your money. You're wasting your resources. Your mental energy, you're draining yourself actually researching stuff, going out of your way to fix the brain fog, to fix the low energy. And as a result, you get stuck in the same loop. And this is why most people go monk mode for 2-3 months, get ahead of the competition, but then for the rest of the year, they crash because the approach is not sustainable. Okay? Now, what's the actual solution? What's something you can do instead to prevent that from happening? What's the actual solution you can do instead of becoming a full-time professional biohacker? Okay? So the solution is very straightforward and very simple, actually. Okay? Test your health. Test your hormonal imbalances, your nutrient deficiencies, your stress levels, your gut microbiome, and your sleep quality. Okay? And I know that most people that come to me in the beginning say, but I'm pretty healthy. But let me ask you this. Have you ever done blood work? Have you ever tracked or tested your hormones? Have you ever tested your gut health? Have you ever analyzed your blood for vitamin deficiencies? If the answer was no to any of this, then how do you know if you're actually healthy? Okay? You're mostly focusing on the surface of the problem, the symptoms, rather than the root of the problem and what's actually causing the problem. Okay? And the thing is, the issue with the healthcare system is that you can go to the doctor, you can go to a hospital, but this will create even more problems. Because the doctors, the medicals would try to prescribe stuff to mask the symptoms rather than actually fixing the root of the problem, attacking the cause of the problem, addressing. And by saying addressing, the next thing is addressing the deficiencies and imbalances. How do you do that? By tailoring your lifestyle based on the feedback you receive from the tests. Okay? This is a very high-level overview, but I'm gonna dive into the specifics. But you test your imbalances, you test your deficiencies, you test what your body really needs and what causes the symptoms you have, the symptoms of brain fog and low energy. you address those deficiencies and imbalances, and you tailor your lifestyle specifically and focusing on the things that matter and ditching the things that don't matter, ditching the low ROI stuff. Instead of having an umbrella approach that covers every single vitamin, every single nutrient you need to take, doing every practice under the sun, buying expensive biohacking gadgets to boost your testosterone or whatever, you're specifically giving your body what it needs. And by doing that, you naturally spend less time, you're more efficient, and you actually improve your situation without covering, without just matching and like sticking patches to the symptoms. Okay? Now, then you can iterate and optimize. Okay? Now, most people have this backwards. They start optimizing, they start doing the nuanced stuff, they start taking the supplements, optimizing their routines, without even knowing how their body is reacting to any of those things, without even knowing what their body needs in the first place. So this is, you can do this, and it will help you somehow, but it's not going to be sustainable. You're not going to address the cause of the problem, and you're going to waste even more time and even more energy doing so. Okay? Now, why should you even go that route by testing and actually discovering what your body needs, your deficiencies, your imbalances? This here that you see on the screen is just an example of a test from one of my clients. This is a complete blood panel, and the metrics that we're looking at right now are the metrics of blood cells and immune cells. The metric that is a bit out of the reference ranges, but that is a bit lower, on the low end of the spectrum, is the neutrophil count. This is a specific metric that is measuring your immune health, your immune cells, okay? And when this is low, you know that you have a negatively impacted immune system. This is a sign of sickness, illness, or generally low immune health. And so instead of taking every supplement under the sun for all those metrics and actually causing long-term health complications by making them completely on the high end of the spectrum, you just focus on the specific marker that needs to be addressed, okay? For example, one other example could be that your hematocrit could be low. And this can cause you to feel low energy. This can cause you to have to be weaker in the gym, to feel tired, to feel like you have brain fog, all the symptoms that we talked about in the beginning, right? So instead of you actually trying to sleep more, to take more pre-workout, to do more cold showers, to meditate more, you actually focus on fixing that marker from the results you got from your health tests. It's super simple. Now, next thing, the gut microbiome testing, okay? Let me tell you this. I've worked with a lot of clients, I've worked with a lot of entrepreneurs, and I had a lot of talks with a lot of entrepreneurs, and most of them tell me that they eat healthy, that they eat clean. Because most of us are really interested in building a nice physique and eating healthy and going to the gym, eating high protein. But how do you actually know if the foods that you're eating are good for your body? So most of us have different intolerances and a different set. Actually, all of us have a different set of bacteria in your gut. So you have this part of your gut, your gut microbiome, that is composed by trillions of bacteria, along with neurons that produce neurochemicals like dopamine, GABA, serotonin. And so the gut microbiome is extremely important for your brain health. Now, let me tell you this. If your goal is to build big biceps or have a six-pack or generally look good, then stop watching the video. This is not for you. We are talking about optimizing for mental clarity, not having brain fog, and not having low energy. Optimizing your brain. So the gut microbiome and tailoring your diet to your gut microbiome is specifically important, is particularly important for having a clear mind, not having stress, not dealing with brain fog. You can still maintain a good physique. You can still get your protein, get your carbs from whatever sources by just hitting your macros per day. But this is not what we're talking about. We are talking about performing at your absolute peak and feeling good. Not just looking good, not just having a good body, not just having a nice looking physique. So I've worked with a lot of people. This is an example test. Some of my clients had intolerances, or their gut microbiome wasn't able to tolerate or digest steak. Some other people weren't able to digest chicken. Some other people weren't able to digest eggs. It really differs, and this is something you cannot find out without testing. So if you want to have a clear mind, if you don't want to have stress, if you don't want to have bloating, digestive issues, brain fog, then this thing is for you. And you need to do a gut microbiome test. You need to test those variables of your health and iterate accordingly. Optimize, tailor your lifestyle accordingly. The next marker is something which is very attractive to most young entrepreneurs. A lot of people want to improve their testosterone. But here's the thing. Doing things that improve your testosterone, which is like more sunlight exposure, better REM sleep, more supplements, more minerals, they will improve your testosterone. But you don't even know how your overall hormone profile looks. For example, this is one of my clients here, and as you can see, he has a bit of a sort of imbalance in the ratio of progesterone to estrogen. Let's take another example. Let's say you're trying to improve your testosterone, you're trying to improve your total testosterone without knowing how the proteins that bind to your total testosterone look like. Let's say you're trying to take the supplements, the Tongat Ali, Fedogen agrestis, sun your ball, or whatever, to try and improve your testosterone. But if the proteins that bind to your total testosterone are elevated or out of whack, then you're not doing anything. So you have total testosterone, and your body doesn't really utilize that. What your body utilizes for the reasons you know, drive, motivation, libido, strength, mental power, etc., is free testosterone, which is a small amount, 2 to 3% out of your overall total testosterone. And the other amounts of testosterone go to albumin, SHBG, proteins that bind. You don't really need to remember the names. Proteins that bind to total testosterone. Now, if you just are trying to improve testosterone without even knowing if your SHBG is out of control, if your albumin is out of control, if those proteins are out of control, then you're not really attacking the root of the problem, and you're just not doing anything. You have a placebo effect. Okay? For example, you need to take care of the antagonist hormones like cortisol. Okay, cortisol is the stress hormone. It is good to have in your body in the optimal ranges, especially in the morning. But over time, especially as an entrepreneur, which you are living a high cortisol-inducing lifestyle, which means a high-stress lifestyle, you have to think about a lot of stuff. Your brain is constantly racing. You're exercising, you're fasting, you're drinking coffee. Then, if your cortisol is high, your testosterone will suffer. And if you're doing things to boost your testosterone, but your cortisol is high, then guess what you're doing? Nothing. So this is why testing your hormones is extremely important. Another variable that a lot of people overlook is sleep quality and stress levels. You know the time that you're waking up and the time that you're going to bed, but have you got any idea of how your circadian rhythm looks like, how the architecture of your sleep looks like, how much REM sleep, how much deep sleep you're getting, and what does your HRV and other recovery metrics look like? For example, this is it's just a screenshot from my client's sleep data. And as we can see here, the metrics that we look at is the awake time, the efficiency of your sleep, REM sleep and deep sleep, and also recovery metrics like lowest resting heart rate, HRV, body temperature, and metrics like that. So, why do you even need to pay attention to metrics like REM sleep or deep sleep? For example, REM sleep is the part of sleep that is responsible for memory consolidation, emotional balance, and testosterone production. Okay? So if you're not getting enough REM sleep, which is your jet fuel as an entrepreneur, your brain's jet fuel, and you don't know how to sleep or how to fix your sleep schedule in order to get more REM sleep, and your goal is just to sleep 8 hours, then one of the most important metrics or one of the most important variables of your performance and energy is not even managed, is not even tracked. So you track this to be able to tailor your sleep schedule and to tailor your routines in order to get the majority, in order to get the most out of your REM sleep and most out of your deep sleep. Okay, this is an example. The way REM sleep usually works is that you get the majority of your REM sleep in the last 4 hours of your normal 8-hour sleep window. And if you cut your sleep short, or if your brain is confused and you don't know, and your brain, like your circadian rhythm, isn't synced because your patterns are different every single day and you're focusing on the wrong things, then your body isn't able to properly acquire those stages of sleep. And as a result, as you can see here, this client is getting 2 hours, 20 minutes of REM sleep, which is insane. Has 20 minutes of wake time, which is insane. Most people have an hour and a half, even 2 hours awake at night. So not looking at those variables will not give you the answers you're looking for in terms of what you can do, what you can focus on to improve your sleep quality. Okay? What are the things you need to implement in order to get either more deep or REM sleep? Okay? For example, another metric you can see here is lowest resting heart rate, which stands at 38 beats per minute, which is a sign of an excellent cardiovascular fitness. Now, if you, for example, your HRV, which is not something we can see here because I just clicked on the sleep and not the readiness. HRV is the metric of how well your stress system, how well your central nervous system is functioning, and also your immune system and how stressed you are overall in the day. If you're not tracking those variables, then you're not able to focus on the things that matter, and rather you're focusing on having just 8 hours of sleep and not even knowing what to do before you go to bed, what to even do after you wake up, what behavioral practices to deploy in order to get better sleep and not be as stressed. Okay? Why should you even consider doing the things that I just talked about? Well, the answer is pretty simple. And I can guarantee you that if you do that, you will see results, you will get rid of brain fog, you will improve your energy, you will have more consistent energy levels through the day and get rid of fatigue. Why? Because I've been doing the exact same thing. I've been implementing the exact same systems for other 6, 7, and 8-figure online business owners in the space, like Jordan Platten, Nathan Nazareth, Roy Lammers, Hesser Brookshire, Hida, Corey, Cosmin, Marcus Pizarro. And the results of the things that they're implementing, they're analyzing their health, they are addressing their deficiencies, and we're tailoring their lifestyle based on the results. What's the result of that? They're more productive, they're more focused, they don't have brain fog, more consistent energy levels through the day, and they're performing better in the business, as you can see here. Okay? So it's very, very, very easy to deploy those practices. It's very simple about the things that you have to do, and if you do it, it will work. So instead of becoming a full-time biohacker, applying all the cookie-cutter protocols in your day, again, I'm going to repeat it one last time, okay? This is the solution. Test your health, your gut microbiome, hormonal imbalances, vitamin deficiencies, and stress and sleep quality. Address the deficiencies and imbalances. Tailor your lifestyle based on the feedback you received, and then iterate and optimize. And I can absolutely guarantee you that if you do those things, you will get rid of brain fog and get rid of low energy for life. Okay? Because the thing is, you don't want to just feel good for 3 months. The thing with monk modes and practices a lot of people do in the online business space, like I'm gonna hone in and dial in my performance for the next 2 months. The thing with that, the problem with that is that you're going 100% with an unsustainable approach for a very short period of time to, let's say, scale your business. But after that, you crash and you just go back to old habits because it's not sustainable. Okay? So the question really is, do you want to feel good and perform good and have high energy and focus consistently? Or do you want to just do that for a couple of months of the year? So this is the real question you have to ask yourself. And if the answer is that you want to consistently perform at your peak, then what I suggest you do is follow the instructions that I gave out in this video and eliminate brain fog and low energy. Peace.